Good evening. Good evening, all. Please wait for 5 more minutes. Let Sagar to join. Good evening, everyone. Hope my voice is audible. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Yeah. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. We'll start the session. Um, so this is the third week question solving session for the NPTEL course Plastic Waste Management. I am Saravanan, PhD scholar and Prime Minister Research Fellow at Department of Civil Engineering, National Institute of Technology, Tiruchirappalli. So those who are joined today, new, I'll explain my brief intro about myself. So I have completed my BTech in Civil Engineering from Government College of Engineering Bodi in Tamil Nadu and my MTech from Anna University College of Engineering Indi in 2021, and I have joined NIT Tiruchirappalli for my PhD program in July 2021, and I am now a Prime Minister Research Fellow at NIT Trichy from July 2022 onwards. So this is a research proposal submitted to the Government of India, Ministry of Education for a funding. And my proposal on solid waste management in the field of landfill mining got selected for the PMRF, and I am getting a stipend of 70,000 per month from 2022 onwards. So this is a broad intro, and NIT Trichy is one of the only NIT eligible for PMRF fellowship, and along with the other IITs and triple IITs. Yeah. So our session will be in the form of I'll first explain about the lecture that was already taught by Dr. Rajesh Kumar Dubey sir in the third week, 5 lectures. Then in the next 1 hour we will talk about the 2022 and 2021 assignments questions. Okay. So this is the agenda for today's session. Yeah. Yeah. Hope the screen is visible. So this is first week we have started with the plastic. What is plastic and what are the method to produce plastic products, and what are the different types of plastics raw material available then we have started with the how much plastic production in India and global statistics. Then in the second week we discussed about the plastic pollution and plastic waste, how the plastic waste generated and the global and Indian statistics, and different methods for collection of plastic waste. And this lecture, this week we are going to talk about plastic waste management rule in India and some of the other regulations available for plastic waste management all over the world. So first, this three lecture we are going to talk about plastic waste management. Yeah. So this is a timeline for the important environmental rules and act in India. So in 1960, we have started with the MOA announced loans for composting of solid waste. That's the first rule related to the solid waste in India. In 1986, Environmental Production Act came. That is the EPA Act we will call. So after the Water Act and Water Cess Act, then Air Act. Uh, in 1970s, followed by 1986, we have a Environment Protection Act (EPA). That is a umbrella act we will call for environment that covers all the environmental related acts like water, air, and other regulations for related to environment. Then in 1989 we have hazardous waste rules, and in 1994 we have a Surat plague, that is a pandemic outbreak in Surat regarding plague. Followed by that JL Biology Committee and the Burman Committee. In 2000 we have Municipal Solid Waste Rule. That's the first rule came for solid waste. Municipal solid waste. That's in 2000. Along with that, CPHEO manual was also released by Government of India for solid waste specifically. In 2001, we have battery rules. All these rules, biomedical, hazardous, and municipal solid waste, plastic waste, everything was re-amended, and the new regulation came in 2016. That was the latest amendment for solid waste management, electronic waste, plastic, biomedical, hazardous, and it was included with the construction and demolition waste. So the first plastic waste management rule came in 2011. It was updated in 2016. That's the timeline we have. And 2014 we have Swachh Bharat Mission, and 2015 we have National Action Plan for Solid Waste Management. And the CPHO manual in 2000 was again amended in 2016. So this is the timeline. Now this course was taught in 2019 and 20. So now we have a latest amendment for plastic waste, that is the 2022 amendment for plastic waste management. That's the second amendment. Yeah. So these are the acts I was discussing about. Water Act, that is 1974. Then Water Cess Act, that is the tax for the water taxes. Over the normal tax, we will also pay some of the extra tax for water. That is called Water Cess Act. This is majorly for industries that are discharging their effluent in the water bodies. So they will pay Water Cess Act, that is 1977. Then Air Act came into provision by 1981. This all will be covered in Environmental Protection Act (EPA) in 1986. These are some of the other waste management rule, as I have discussed in the timeline. Sorry. Then the related plastic waste management. So this plastic waste is a subsection of solid waste, as we have discussed in the first class. So this is the part of solid waste. So the first solid waste management rule came in 2000, and it was amended in 2016. Along with that, plastic batteries, hazardous, and C&D waste were also amended in 2016. So why the plastic waste management rules were developed? So for the indiscriminate disposal of plastic will be the major threat to the environment. More particularly, we can talk about the plastic carry bags, that will be the biggest contributor for returned waste. So another problem is it will take more than an average of more than 1,000 years to decompose completely. So there is a need to manage plastic waste, and to deal with the plastic waste related problem, the plastic waste management rule came into action. This is the timeline for plastic waste alone. 1999, recycled plastic manufacture and usage rule came. In 2011, the first plastic waste management rule came, and it was amended in 2016. First amendment in 2021, and the second amendment came recently 2022. This was the notification released by the government in 2016 plastic waste management rule. At that time, Minister of State Minister of State for Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Mr. Prakash Javadekar, he was amending this plastic waste management rule in the parliament. So the major amendment from 2000 plastic waste rule to 2016 plastic waste rule is that 40 micron plastic was fully banned, and it was the minimum thickness for the plastic carry bags was increased to 40 to 50 microns, and the increase in the cost for the supply of free carry bags are increased from 20 increased up to 20%. Once again. So here you can see Plastic Waste Management Rule 2011 and the changes in 2016 rules. In 2011, the Plastic Waste Management Rule was only applicable to municipal areas, but in 2016, it was applicable to all the waste generators, gram panchayat, local bodies, manufacturers, producers, importers and exporters. Everybody, those who are related to plastic waste dealing, producers and exporters, everybody will be included in the plastic waste management rules. And prohibition minimum thickness was mentioned as 40 microns, but it was increased from 40 to 50. Why? Because 50 micron plastics are thicker than 40 micron, and it won't degrade into smaller particles, disintegrate into smaller particles. That's the reason behind increasing the thickness of minimum thickness of plastic carry bags from 40 to 50 micron. And the responsibility for waste generators was increased. The group of people included in the plastic waste management rule got increased. From bulk generators were also included in the plastic waste management rule 2016, and the user fee payment was included in the new amendment. Why? Those who are producing the plastic waste have to pay the user fee, or the waste generator, even including the household people, have to pay the user fee for the plastic waste collection and management. Then for the street vendors, retailers, there is no specification in 2011 rules, but the street vendors and the retailers were included in 2016. Then extended producer responsibility, there is no specification in 2011. It was included in 2016 rules. Extended producer responsibility (EPR). It's a broad term. Yeah. So EPR is a broad term that make responsible for waste generated from their product. They have to pay. They have to manage the plastic waste from the production to its end of life. So they are responsible for the waste produced. That's the extended producer's responsibility. So this is the plastic waste management rule 2016 first page. That is the so this is the first page of the plastic waste management rule amended in the Gazette of India. So what's new in 2011 to 2016? That's the overall note. The minimum thickness was increased from 40 to 50 micron. Responsibility was given to local bodies and gram panchayat. Responsibility was also given to waste generators, and collect back system and extended producer responsibility was introduced, and the responsibility for retailers and street vendors were included. Registration for shopkeepers and street vendors were also included in 2016 rules. For any production, we need three important things. One is the intended, the product should satisfy its intended function, and the product should be feasible for its production. Then the production should be cost effective, economical, and the operation and maintenance cost should be lower. These are the three aspects required for any design. But nowadays we have to think about the environment point of view. For plastic, it will satisfy all the first three requirements. But for environmental performance during its end of life, that's the major thing required in terms of plastic waste. So, that's why we need a plastic waste management rule 2016. By extended producer responsibility, we can get a pool of money from the producer to manage the plastic waste. That's the concept behind EPR. Okay, this is the rule 2. Rule 2 mentions this rule will be applicable. Those who are under this rule, it will be defined in the rule 2 of plastic waste management rule 2016. So waste generators, local body, gram panchayat, manufacturers, importers and the producers are all the people responsible for managing the plastic waste. These are the people included in plastic waste management rule 2016. Yeah. So then the rule will cover the basic definitions. What is plastic? Plastic is the essential ingredient, a high polymer with all these different types of material types like polyethylene, terephthalate, high density polyethylene, vinyl, low density polyethylene, and polypropylene. Plastic waste is the plastic that is discarded after its intended purpose or after its use. When the material is having no use, then we discarded as plastic waste. Then waste management means collection, storage, transportation, reuse, recovery, recycle up to the disposal point that will be included in the waste management definition. And the definition for brand owner is the person or company who sells the commodity. Commodity is the one that's the thing. It's a tangible item that may be bought or sold. Then the compostable plastic. There is a definition in the Plastic Waste Management Rule 2016 for the compostable plastics. That is a plastic that will undergo degradation. Initially, the plastic will disintegrate into smaller particles, but the compostable plastic will degrade, biologically degrade during composting process, which yield CO2, water, inorganic compounds, and biomass at a consistent rate. That is called along with the other compostable material. So if you have some municipal solid waste, if you undergone some of the solid waste management courses, you will know like solid waste will be the mixture of all the heterogeneous mixtures like organic, plastic, inerts, all the recyclables will come into as a mixture in the solid waste. But this compostable plastic can be disposed in the micro compost plant along with the other compostable materials like food waste, yard waste, garden waste, everything we can include in the compostable compost plant. Sorry, along with the compost. Sorry, along with the compostable plastics. but it should not include other conventional petro based plastics. Yeah. So disintegration is the physical breakdown of material into very small fragments. And another definition for extended producer responsibility, responsibility of a producer for the environmentally sound management of the product until its end of life. So that's the EPR concept introduced in the 2016 rule. Then facility, that's the premises for collection, storage, recycling and processing. Yeah, importers are the person who imports or intends to import the plastic or any product. Then the institutional waste generators, all the sectors like central government sector departments, state government departments, public and private sector companies, hospitals, school, colleges, university, and other places for education, organization, academy, hotels, restaurant, everything will be covered in institutional waste generators. Then the manufacturers are the person who is engaged in the plastic waste, plastic raw material production. Multi-layered plastic. The definition for multi-layered plastic was given in the rule. It has at least one layer of plastic as the main ingredient along with the other material, or it may be other plastics. So it's the mixture of plastic or plastic with the other material covering different layer. With the one layer, at least one layer should be made up of plastic. The other layer may be paper, polymeric materials, or aluminum foil. If you see a tetra pack of any cool drinks like fruity or any juice, if you take in a tetra pack, that tetra pack is made up of multi-layered plastic. So the outside will be covered with the plastic. In between layer will be with cardboard, and the inside layer will be having aluminum foil. That's the multi-layered packaging of multi-layered packaging of fruit juice. And the definition for producers, the person engaged in manufacturing and import of carry bags and the multi-layered packaging of plastic sheets. Then recycling. Recycling is the process of transforming the material, segregated plastic into new product. If you use the waste in its original form, then it is called a reuse. But recycling is the process of transforming the waste into new product or a raw material for producing new product. Then registration. This is also important thing included in the rule 2006 amendment 2016, like registration with the state pollution control board or pollution control committee. These are the pollution control bodies in India. That is, we are having three different things. One is central pollution control board, that is governing all pollution related issues in India. Under that we have each each state will have a separate state pollution control board, and each union territory will have pollution control committee. That's the organization we are having for pollution control. So registration is the one we have to register with the state pollution control board or the pollution control committee. Not we, any producer or manufacturer or recyclers should register their company. Then street vendors. Street vendor is the same definition given in Street Vendor Rules Act 2014. Then the local bodies. Urban local bodies are the municipal corporation, municipality. We have different clusters in India like Nagar Nigam, Nagar Panchayat, municipal council, including notified area committees. Then the waste generators are all the person or a group of people or institution, residential, commercial establishment, railways, airport, harbors, every defense establishment. Those who are generating the plastic waste are all waste generators mentioned in the plastic waste management rule. Then waste management, as I have already explained, this is the collection to disposal. The whole thing will be defined in waste management. Waste pickers, these are the authorized people, those who are involved in picking up the recyclable material from the mixed waste. That's the waste pickers. Then this is the rule 4 in plastic waste management rule 2016. Rule 4 defines carry bag or plastic packaging shall either be in its natural shade. It should not contain any pigment. Added pigment should not be there, because plastic packaging material or carry bags are used for carrying eatable items or foodstuffs. So it should not contain any added pigments. The list of pigments and the colorants for use in the plastic in contact with the foodstuff, pharmaceuticals and drinking water, or all this food colorant are all mentioned in the IS code that can be used, but all the other pigments cannot be added with the carry bags or plastic packages. That's what it's mentioned. Again, the second point defines carry bags made up of recycled plastic should not be included used for eatable, packaging the eatables or drink food stuffs. And the carry bag made of virgin or recycled plastic shall not be less than 50 micron. Initially in 2011 rule it was 40 micron, it was increased to 50 micron. This is the rule 4 says the carry bag should not contain any added pigment because it was used for carrying food items, and carry bag made up of recycled plastic cannot be used for packaging eatable items, and carry bag should be made with a thickness greater than 50 microns. Yeah, this is the rule 4 says. Except some plastic sheet having some impact its functionality for medical purposes, we can produce plastic sheets with a thickness less than 50 microns. Other than that, we should not produce any carry bags for carry bags of thickness less than 50 microns. The manufacturer shall not sell or provide or arrange plastic without registration from the State Pollution Control Board or Pollution Control Committee. That's what I have mentioned in the registration. The manufacturer of any plastic or plastic related item should register with the State Pollution Control Board or Pollution Control Committee if he is from any union territory. Then the last point is very important. Sachets using plastic material shall not be used for storing, packing or selling gutka, tobacco or pan masala. But this is not happening. But this is the rule says. Sachets made up of plastic material should not be used. Okay. These are the 4 type of waste, plastic and their disposal options. If it is a recyclable plastic waste, then first register with the plastic waste recyclers. Then non-recyclable plastic waste, local bodies should encourage, and it will be transported to the energy recovery facility like incineration plant or pyrolysis plant, and the melted plastic can be used for road construction and waste to oil by pyrolysis process. Then the third one is thermoset plastic that can be processed and disposed of according to standard and pollution control norms. Then the inerts from the recycling and the processing facilities. If you incinerate the plastic in the incineration plant, then you may get some ash. That type of inerts from the recycling process can be disposed according to Solid Waste Management Rule 2016. So if it will be converted to inert, then we can go with the Solid Waste Management Rule 2016. Yeah. This is in Rule
Excuse
6.
me, will you please go to previous slide?
Yeah, ma'am.
Will you?
Yeah.
Actually, 4 options are there. So A and B, they are under recyclable plastic and non-recyclable plastics. And C is related to thermoset,
Yeah.
and D is related to
Inerts. Inerts from recycling facilities.
Okay, and it is written it is disposed of according to
Solid waste
solid waste
management rule.
management.
Yeah.
Disposed of as per that rule. So we have to go through solid waste management rule,
Yes,
or will
ma'am.
you say disposed
Actually,
of to which place? It is disposed of to land or to water body or to which place exactly?
actually, if it is a plastic, then we have to follow the plastic waste management rule. Of once it was converted into an inert substance through some of the recycling in the recycling facility or in any incineration or pyrolysis plant, then the inert can be disposed in following the solid waste management rule 2016. So there is
In
a
this much
guideline
we
for
have to
inerts to dispose in secured landfills.
landfills.
Yeah, landfills. Inerts
Okay.
can go to landfills, or we can use as
Okay.
an alternate material for building construction. Or some scientific materials or scientific methodologies were discussed in solid waste management rules.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Here, these are the rule 6 defines the responsibility for the local bodies. So, what are all the local bodies that we have already discussed? The municipalities or the village panchayat or the gram nagar panchayats are these are the people covered in the local bodies. Their responsibility is to ensure segregation, collection, storage in the household in their premises, ensuring that is no damage to the environment during this process. But any process will have a impact on the environment. If you collect or if you segregate any waste, or if you collect the waste in a diesel vehicle, the diesel there will be a chance for air pollution. And if you store or if you transport, everything will have some impact on the environment. If you do a proper life cycle assessment for each process, then you will get which option will be having less impact to the environment, that you can choose and follow. So you have to ensure there is no or little damage to the environment during this operation process. Then you have to ensure channelizing of recyclable plastic waste fraction to the recyclers. So all the plastic waste will be generated. It should be properly segregated, and the recyclable plastic will be channelized to recyclable plastic waste recyclers. Then ensuring processing and disposal of non-recyclable fraction of plastic into according to the guidelines given by the CPCB. Then creating awareness among the stakeholders. Stakeholders are the people who are generating and the people who are marketing, then the plastic producer and the recyclers. These are all the stakeholders involved in plastic waste management rule. So you have to create awareness among the people and engaging civil societies and group working in the waste picking, ensuring that there is no open burning of plastic waste does not take place. That's we have to ensure. This is the duty of the local body to ensure. Then the duty of the Gram Panchayat is given in the Rule 7 defines we have to ensure same rule for all the managing administrations within the low level, ensuring segregation, ensuring no damage to the environment, creating awareness, ensuring that no boarding should be happening. Yeah. So then the responsibility of the waste generator. For all the waste generator, like ordinary people and whatever the institutions, education institutions, hospitals, and the markets, everything is coming under the waste generator. So every person responsible for organizing an event in the open space, they are all involves serving of food or any stuffs in the plastic item or multi-layered plastic should segregate and manage the plastic waste generated during this event. So if you are organizing any event in an open space or any ground or park, you are responsible for managing the waste produced after the event. You have to segregate, you have to manage the waste generated during the event. This waste generator shall minimize, you have to, this the organizer should ensure there is a there is a little waste generation. You have a proper technology to minimize the waste that is going to generate, and there is a little litter plastic waste and hand over the segregated plastic waste to the local bodies. And all the institutional waste generators should segregate and store in accordance to the municipal solid waste management rules. So we have a different color coding. So we have a different color coding bins for different types of waste that should be segregated and stored according to municipal solid waste management rules. Yeah. Then user fee. All the waste generators should pay the user fee. That is the rule says that is the responsibility of the waste generator. We have to pay the user fee to manage the plastic waste that is generated. In Tamil Nadu, if you see, the property tax was the solid waste management user fee (SUC) will be collected along with the property tax. We can say like rupees 30 rupees will be taken every half year, I guess. So it will be like 5 rupees per month. That's the average amount collected for the average fee collected for solid waste management. So you can see your property tax receipt. You can see SUC, that is the solid waste management user fee. Yeah. So these are the deadline given in the Plastic Waste Management Rule 2016 in Rule 9. The producer within 6 months shall work out for waste collection system based on EPR, and within 3 months of publication of rule, all the producers should apply or register to the pollution control board or pollution control committee. Then all the producers it's responsible to collect back the sachet or pouches. That is also the rule says plan of collection to plan of collection to be submitted to the state pollution control board. So producer and importer should have a plan how they are going to collect all the sachet or pouches that is going to be generated through their product that is sold in the market, and they have to submit the plan to the state pollution control board. And finally, after within 6 months, there should not be any plastic or multi-layer plastic packaging should be available in the market. But after 2016, it was like fifth year we are in. Still, this rule was not fully enforced. That's why still we are having plastic and multi-layer packaging material available outside. To implement this rule, we require a proper infrastructure and specialization for implementation of rules, and we need an alternative. So whatever the plastic we are banning, we need to give an alternate. Then only the plastic ban will be will be effective. And we need a proper infrastructure and channelization to make this rules effective in the near future. This is a paper cutting sustainable outlook report. According to Mr. Harens Changbi, All Indian Plastic Manufacturer Association, he is actually the vice president of All India Plastics Manufacturer Association. So he commented the plastic waste management rule 2016. There is no proper guideline given for the EPR policy, and there is no after 3 months since the gazette publication date, the local authority have still no specified the registration criteria. The rule mandates like within 3 months we have to register and in the pollution control board. But there is no specified criteria given by the state pollution control board, and they are seeking for clear guidelines, and the pricing and marketing of bags are also confusing, and the whole rule was unrealistically implemented. That's what the comment given by this All India Plastic Manufacturer Association. That's also real. We don't have a proper guideline, but the rules are implemented, and this is the responsibility of the producer. Within 2 years of time after the publication of this rules in the gazette, within 2 years all the non-recycled recyclable multi-layered plastic should be phased out. This is one rule mandates, but still after fifth year still multi-layered packaging are available in the market. Producers should also maintain a record of raw material supplies. Yeah, this is another news cutting commented like, are this proposed state are these proposed statements being implemented as well? Sadly, the reality suggests that certain ambiguity still remains. That's what the deadline given in the guidelines are unrealistic. Yeah. So this is the consolidated table for the roles and roles of key stakeholders as per Plastic Waste Management Rule 2016. The producers are the responsible for collection of waste that is generated by him and phasing out of all the material left over. And the retailer have to pay a minimum of 48,000 management plastic waste management fee, that is 4,000 rupees per month to the local body. This is the rule for the shopkeepers or street vendors. Like, it is unrealistic. Every month they have to pay rupees 4,000. A street vendor having, like, he is selling a some samosa shop or nearby any fruit shop as a street vendor with a like a tricycle or something. He have to pay at least 5 rupees 4,000 per month to the local body for managing the plastic waste generated by him. That is also unrealistic given in the plastic waste management rule. Then the generator have to pay the user fee as prescribed by the bylaws of the local bodies. So bylaws are the thing that was created by the local bodies. If Indian government has given regulation through Plastic Waste Management Rule 2016, then each state or each district has the power to publish their bylaws. So based on the bylaws, the user fee can be collected among the people in their local premises. Then rural local bodies, they have the role to setting up the infrastructure for segregation, collection, storage up to disposal, and they have to seek assistance of producers and such system while setting up the system for plastic waste management. Then rule 11, as per rule 11, it is mandatory for marking or labeling in English language in all the carry bags and multi-layer bags. The information required in carry bags are the name of the bag, the registration number, and its thickness. For multi-layered bags, the name and the registration number of the manufacturer. And for compostable bags, we need a name and a certification number. So if you buy any type of compostable cups or bags, you can see a QR code. If you scan the QR code through your mobile, you can find the certificate for the raw material used in the manufacturing of the compostable plastic. Yeah. Then this is the rule prescribed for the Pollution Control Board, Secretary in charge, and the Gram Panchayat, given in the Rule 12. For state and union territory, the role of Pollution Control Board and the Pollution Control Committee is to enforce enforcement of provision for registration, but still it's lagging. But after 2021 and 22 amendment, it was clearly mentioned the provision for registration, manufacturing of plastic product, processing and disposal of plastic waste. Then the secretary in charge of urban local body should enforce the provision relating to waste management by waste generator. This is the role of secretary in charge of urban development. And the concerned Gram Panchayat has the role uh, to give provisions related to waste management by waste generators. So these are all the roles given to the administration people. In Rule 13, says about the registration of producers, recyclers, and the manufacturers. So all the person, I mean, the manufacturer of carry bags and recyclable plastic waste or multi-layered packaging manufacturer should registered with the State Pollution Control Board or Pollution Control Committee. Every producer shall register or renew the registration by making an application with the State Pollution Control Board or PCC. That's the Pollution Control Committee. So all the registration should be renewed with before what by intimating before 120 days of submitting the application. So that was mentioned here. Decision on the grant of registration shall be taken within 90 days of receipt of an application. And for using the person who are manufacturing with the raw material, that should be fall within the form 3. So they have to I will show the plastic waste management rule, exact rule I will show at the end of this lecture. There you can see in the annex form 3 that will that will be the registration form for the manufacturer to be used to be used as a raw material. Yeah, this is the rule says every application for renewal of registration shall be made at least 120 days before the expiry of the validity of the registration certificate by the manufacturer or recyclers or the producers. Yeah, this is the responsibility of the retailers and the street vendors. So they should not sell without any labeled or marked bags, and they are liable to pay fine if they are if they are violating the rules specified in the bylaws of the local bodies. Yeah, this is the pricing, explicit pricing for the carry bags. Like minimum fee of rupees 48,000 should be paid by the shopkeepers or the street vendors. Only the registered shopkeepers or the street vendors are eligible to provide carry bags for dispensing the commodities. If you are having any sweet shop, you must need carry bags, means you have to register with the pollution control board, and you are after registration you are eligible to provide carry bags to the carry bags for the commodities, and the local body shall utilize the amount paid by the customers for the carry bags exclusively for the sustainability of the waste management system within their jurisdiction. Yeah. In Rule 17 discusses about the annual report should be submitted by each local body to the higher authority. Like every person engaged in recycling or processing should submit an annual report. Every local body should submit an annual report to the SPCB, and all the State Pollution Control Board or Pollution Control Committee should submit an annual report to the Central Pollution Control Board, and the CPCB should submit a report to the central government, Ministry of Forest and Climate Change. Environment, forest, and climate change. So this is the hierarchy, and everybody should submit the annual report. Yeah. This is another report, Sustainable Outlook report on Plastic Waste Management Rule 2016. Heading on the right path, but certain ambiguous remaining. So this rule failed to address the key objective of how to reduce and minimize the use of plastic in the first scale. So all are discussing about how to recycle and what are the duties of these people. Everything was mentioned, but how to reduce and how to minimize the plastic in its first stage, that was missing. That was the major missing in the waste management rule 2016. Yeah, and we need a multi-stakeholder collaboration. Like we are only focusing on this manufacturer, producers, and state pollution control board, and this recyclers point of view. But we have to include all the industries, those who are producing the plastic waste, as a stakeholder, then it will become a multi-stakeholder collaboration, and we can easily scale up this type of solutions, or we can implement these rules in a larger scale. So it should be a realistic, tested, implemented nationally, and clear direction and incentives should be provided, and should be built on more plastic waste management technologies by the innovators, and renewability and recyclability in their product should be the key requirement at this stage. Yeah. Then the waste management rule was amended in 2018. That's the first amendment, and the second amendment draft came in 2021, and it was amended in 2022. So it recommends the central registration system for the registration of the producer, importer, and the brand owner. And the registration mechanism was automated, and it was ease of doing business for producers, recyclers, and the manufacturers. Yeah. So that's again the amendment in 2018 discuss about the registration for the producers, importers, and the brand owners. If the producer is present in more than two states, they have to apply for both the pollution control board, or they can register with the national registry with the state central pollution control board. These are the solid and liquid resource management by SLRM. There is a three-level management scheme with important guidelines from like guiding principles, high-level guidelines for state Swachh Bharat Mission directors, then implementation framework for district collectors. These are the three guidelines given in three levels. And implementing plastic waste management rule in states and districts. So we have to give a subsidy drive. We have to shift from subsidy driven model to output focused model. So that's the requirement. If you give subsidy for all this type of plastic producers or plastic recyclers, that won't work. We have to focus on output. What's the output we need for the management of plastic waste? That we have to replace, switch over. And the bulk purchasing can be undertaken by the government, and this can be sustained market driven cycle of plastic waste management rules. Yes. So in the same amendment, we have given with the strong IEC and monitoring access by the value chain to ensure that the system are working optimally. That the IEC is a monitoring system, that is International Electrotechnical Commission monitoring system, used to ensure the system is working optimally or not, and supported financially by the waste collectors. Yeah, these are the duties of the citizens. All the citizens should contact your representative. You can ask your representative to release the strategy for combating the plastic waste, plastic pollution in your locality. Ask for timeline. Whether you can ask for local government to ban plastic bags, or your national government to ban microbeads, or you can show up some community events like meetings, speaking in the events, or other gatherings, and your representative hold locally. And follow-ups, you can mail, call, and follow up again and again with your local body to ensure what's happening related to your plastic pollution and management. Now we have discussed about the plastic waste management rule in India. Now we will look out with this global rules and regulation related to plastic waste. And overall United Nations Sustainable Development Goal, we have a 17 Sustainable Development Goal, with the aim of plan of action for the people, planet, and the prosperity. So we have a 17 sustainable goals given by the United Nations, out of which 14th 14th goal aims to conserve and sustainably use the ocean, seas, and marine resources for sustainable development. I will show you that picture. Yeah, this is the 14th sustainable goal. If you see all the sustainable goal, I will show you the full image. Yeah, this is the 14 sustainable goals given by the United Nations, from no poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitation. Environment talks about the sixth one, and seventh one affordable and clean energy. Eighth is decent work and economic growth. Ninth one industrial innovation and infrastructure. Tenth one reduce inequalities. Here is the 14th will talk about the life below water. So our plastic waste having a major impact on the ocean with the microplastic and the plastic waste as a whole. So we have to talk about the 14th sustainable development goal, that is the life below water. Each sustainable development uh, goals have a separate targets associated with this. So like we have targets. So these are the targets associated with the 14th goal. Life below water, reduce marine pollution, that is target 14.1. 14.2 talks about protect and restore ecosystem, that is coral reefs and endangered species protection. Then reduce ozone acidification. This is also related with the CO2 emission and the CO2 sequestration in oceans. Then 14.4 talks about sustainable fishing. 14.5 is conserve coastal and marine areas. 14.6 is end subsidies contributing to overfishing. Increase the economic benefits from sustainable use of marine resources. Like that, we have different targets. To implement these targets, we have a plans. Yeah. So our 14th SDG goal will be conserve and sustainable use of the ocean, seas and marine resources for sustainable development, and the target by 2025 to prevent and significantly reduce marine pollution of all kinds. Yeah. In UK, there is a goal to achieve zero avoidable plastic waste by the end of 2042. To reduce the use of plastic waste, actions will be taken with looking across the whole life cycle of the plastic from production to that is cradle to grave, and launching tax system or charges. Uh, they Many studies reported that after implementation of tax and charges for the plastic usage, the plastic production waste production was reduced significantly. That is majorly in single use plastic production got reduced significantly. Yeah. So what are the things we can do at the production stage? At the production itself, the working with the industry and rationalizing that is the optimum packaging. How to reduce the plastic in the packaging system, and reforming our producer responsibility system, and encouraging the development of bio-based, biodegradable plastics or products, and building on our microbead ban. So microbeads used in our cosmetics or day-to-day life activities, that should be banned in the production stage itself. And the consumption stage, what can we do during the consumption of these plastics? Reduce the amount of plastic in the circulation by removing all consumer single-use plastics from the central government state offices, and the extending uptake of the highly successful 5p plastic bag charge that was already implemented in UK. That is 5 penny charge for each plastic bag. If you charge nowadays, it's already implemented in many parts of India. They will charge for the carry bags that you are going to get from the markets. So that will reduce the plastic waste up to 50%. That means single use carry bags waste production was reduced to 50%, and offer new refill points for people. Top up water bottles for free. Like that, if we use some of these innovative technologies, will reduce the plastic waste production. And waste and resource action plan WRAP to explore introducing plastic free supermarkets. So this is an initiative in the UK to working on the plastic waste management and circular economy and sustainable goals, that introduces some plastic free supermarket ASLs. Yeah. So what can we do at the end of use stage? So we can on-pack recycling labeling system and implement the litter strategy to reduce the plastic littering, and implementing voluntary and regulatory interventions that can reduce the plastic waste at the end of use stage. At the end of life waste management stage, framework for greater consistency, and working with the waste management industries and research council that develop a standard for biodegradable plastic waste. So not only thinking about the actual raw material for the plastic, we can also work on research to develop the biodegradable plastic bags and need to avoid microplastics. Yeah. So in the final lecture, we will again dive into this global plastic waste management regulations. So this is in UK supermarkets. New voluntary pledge to cut off the plastic waste packaging, reduce avoidable plastic waste. So our ambition is to eliminate avoidable plastic waste will only be realized if government, business, and the public work together. This is in San Francisco. Mandatory use of recyclables and compostable checkout bags. So they have a penalty if they are not using recyclables and compostable bags. That's mandatory in San Francisco. And they are imposing charge for checkout bags, like $0.1 per bag. So these are the fine for violation. If you violate for the first time, it will be $100. Then the second time 200, and additional violations will charge you up to $500 in California government. In South Korea, there exists a nationwide campaign for Korea Zero Waste Movement Network, and the network has signed a voluntary agreement with the municipalities to encourage all actors to break free from plastics. So this is the initiative they have taken in South Korea, and as on August 2018, the Korean government has introduced a strict regulation on single-use plastic items, and they have a ban on plastic cups and umbrella covers. Umbrella covers, while they are using, when they are coming inside the office, they will pack their umbrella in plastic bag. That was banned, and the plastic cups were banned from 2018 onwards in Korea. Yeah, plastic cups and coffee shops and food, fast food restaurants. Then the Japan government having a rule, Containers and Packaging Recycling Act 1995. Based on that act, the containers and the plastic waste recycling adopted the concept of extended producer responsibility. The same concept was adopted in our plastic waste management rule 2016. So it was first time imposed in Japan. Yeah, this is the overall idea. The consumer produced, they have to sort and given to the collectors, or the municipalities will collect, the local body will collect the segregated waste, and it was given to the money was collected from the consumers directly, and it was distributed among the government for the plastic waste management inside their locality. And the municipality have to sign a contract with this recycling operators. They have to manage the plastic waste, collected and segregated plastic waste. So this is the overall idea behind EPR. Then the Japan passes anti-plastic law that reduces the volume of microplastic dumped in the ocean, and Japan's to reduce the use of microplastics, microbeads, and no details on. This was actually given in the anti-plastic law, but there is no details on punishment if you break the rule. And again, the G7 meeting. You know about the G7 summit and all. The 44th G7 summit happened in Canada. The five countries at the G7 committee has signed the agreement for plastic waste management, addresses the concern about microplastics. But the US government refuses to agree that because of this issue on climate change. The new law also encourages the local government to educate residents. So that's very important. Capacity building of these waste producers or these local bodies is main to implement this plastic waste management rules. And Belgium, Brazil, and Dominican Republic, Panama, everybody have a separate national plans to regulate and combat the marine litter. And Canada has the world's largest coastline, as we know. They have a funding community-based program like beach cleanups and some of the research to reduce the impact of microplastics. And Indonesia has committed to reduce the plastic waste by 70% within 2030. And Kenya, Jordan, Madagascar, this type of countries has banned the single-use or non-biodegradable plastic bags. Already they have banned. And Denmark, France, Ireland reduces the consumption of carrier bags. And they have a self habit of consuming fewer bags than the average of all we have a global average how much a person can consume like carry bags or single use plastics. This type of countries have already have a lower consumption of plastic bags than the average global average. Then Israel aims to have a 70% of its beach cleanup, and Denmark, Finland, Iceland, Sweden have a Nordic program. Nordic program is this North Atlantic countries have signed sustainable approach to plastic. This type of committees or conventions have already happened in this Nordic programs, and New Zealand has committed to ban the products containing plastics. microbeads from June 2018 onwards. Then European Union member states have different national policies in place will reduce the consumption of lightweight plastic carry bags. The whole European Union states. And this is very important. New Plastics Global Committee. New Plastic Economic Global Committee. This is a committee formed by 250 groups. These are the groups of plastic waste producers. They are the major plastic waste producers. 250 organizations responsible for more than 20% of plastic packaging producer around the world. If you take 100 plastic, 20 plastics are from these 250 companies only, like H&M, Austin, Unilever, Pepsi, L'Oreal, Nestle, Coca-Cola. This type of companies, 250 companies. That's a committee formed by this 250 companies. They are the major responsible for more than 20% of the plastic packaging produced all over the world. And this committee has got a huge fund along with the Ellen MacArthur Foundation to reduce the marine pollution. So on a conclusion note, we can say plastics are durable and plastics are recyclable. The problem is with the plastic waste management. So we have to think about the plastic, how to manage the plastic waste. Plastic is a good innovation, but invention, but we have to compare with this type of plastic waste management things. And marine litter is a major problem. How to deal with this? Deal to reduce marine litter, and bans on plastic is not a permanent solution. How to deal with the produced waste? If you are talking about the biodegradable plastic waste, or is this bioplastics are really degradable, and 100% degradable can be achieved along with this municipal solid waste in the compost plant? These are all the question mark behind bioplastics. So the more research have to be done in this field, and there is a need for more support and investment in waste management infrastructure, focusing mainly on Southeast Asia. And current evidence suggests that best way of reducing litter is mount public information campaigns to discourage littering. And the government should work with the industry. That's the multi-stakeholder approach. Government should work with the industry, improve and simplify the waste management, and explore behavioral change. That is another major thing. Behavioral change or personal development of this waste generator is the major key key behind this waste management. For the investment made in recycling and to develop a circular economy, the shipping industry and the fishing industry should continue work to minimize plastic waste entering the from the ship and the shipping containers. This is the major, as we had discussed in the first lecture, shipping industry contribute to about more than 50% of the marine pollution. And a holistic approach is required, and research with these policy measures appropriate for each specific country. So we can't adapt US or UN rules in India. So we have to frame a separate rule or technology to manage the plastic waste and its composition in India. So each specific country site specific policies are required, and along with this interdisciplinary sectors rather than the blanket ban or tax. So tax, enforcing tax or banning this plastic waste is not the permanent solution. So consumer behavior and acceptance in relation to plastic bags policies must also be considered as an important issue for further research. So this is all about discussed in the week 3 of plastic waste management course. So overall we have discussed about plastic waste management rule 2016. It was initially amended in 2011. What is the difference in 11 and 2016 rules, and what are the definitions for given in this rules, and what are the roles defined for different stakeholders from local bodies, produce waste generators, pollution control boards, and state authorities. And then we have moved to global rules on the plastic waste management. So now we will discuss about the assignments, old assignments in 2011 and 2022 for this course. Yeah. So if you have any doubt, you can unmute and ask, or you can post in the chat box, or else we will discuss about the questions. So if you have no doubts, I will move on with the assignment questions. Yes. So now you can post the answers in the chat box, or you can please post in the answers in the chat box. I will read the question. Which of the following statement is or true? They are asking about the true statements. The indiscriminate disposal of plastic waste has become a significant threat to the environment. Plastic carry bags are the least contributor to the littered waste. Plastic bags take an average of 10 years to decompose. There is a need for plastic waste management to deal with all plastic waste related problems. So what are the statements? What are the correct statements? I think the first is correct. Yes, the indiscriminate disposal of plastic waste is a threat to the environment. That is correct. Second one, plastic carry bag or the least contributor to the litter waste. That is wrong. Plastic waste is the major contributor. And plastic waste takes an average of 1000 years to decompose. That is also wrong. Then the final one, there is a need for plastic waste management to deal with all plastic waste related problems. That is correct. So A and D are correct. Yes. So these are the correct answers. Okay, we will move on to the second question. So this is the answer. True or false question. Plastic waste management rule 2016 applies only to municipal areas. True or false? Yes, it's false. So 2011 rules was applicable to municipal areas. Yeah, 2011 rules was applicable only to municipal areas, but in 2016 it was applicable to all the stakeholders from waste generators, gram panchayat, local bodies, manufacturers, importers, and the producers. Yes. So question 3. Plastics that undergo degradation by biological process during composting to yield carbon dioxide, water, inorganic compounds and biomass at a rate consistent with the other known compostable material, excluding conventional petro-based plastic, and do not leave a visible, distinguishable or toxic residue are called reusable plastic, recyclable plastic, compostable plastic, single-use plastic. So whatever the plastic will go which undergo biological degradation are all called compostable plastic that will yield CO2 and water. Yeah, that's correct. C is correct. So this is the definition for compostable plastic given in the PMW rules, PWM rules 2016. The minimum thickness of plastic carry bags as per plastic waste rules 2016. 30 micron, 40 micron, 50 micron, 60 micron. Yeah, it's 50 micron. Initially it was 40, then it was revised to 50 due to the increase in the thickness will retard the degradation process into smaller, I mean disintegrating into smaller particle can be retarded. Yeah. So here you can see prohibition. Prohibition initially it was 40 micron, then it was amended to increase from 40 to 50 micron. Yeah. Question 5. Plastic waste management rule 2016 is applicable to waste generator, local body and gram panchayat, manufacturer, importer and producer of plastic, all the above. Yeah. So the questions will be simple. You can easily attend all the above. Yes, that's correct. So these are the stakeholders. For them, the PMW or PWM 2016 are applicable. Okay. Question 6. Extended producer responsibility is the responsibility of a producer for the environmentally sound management of product until the end of its life. True or false question. Extended producer responsibility is the responsibility of a producer for the environmentally sound management of the product until its end of its life. That's important. From production, they will sell in the market. After usage, end of life, the product should be taken care by the producer. That's what the responsibility of the producer, extended responsibility of the producer. Initially, the responsibility of the producer is up to the market. Now we have to extend up to its end of life. So its answer is true. It's called EPR. Yes, that's the definition for EPR given in the rule. So here what are the incorrect statements? Plastic carry bags and plastic packaging shall be made using any pigment or colorants. Carry bags made of recycled plastic or product shall be used for storing, carrying, dispensing. Can be used. The manufacturer shall not sell or provide or arrange plastic to be used as a raw material to a producer not having valid registration. The manufacturer should not sell without valid registration. That sachet using plastic material shall not be used for storing, packing or selling gutka, tobacco and pan masala. So they are asking for what are the incorrect statement. I think the first two, yes. First two is incorrect. So plastic carry bag should not contain any pigment or colorant. And plastic carry bag made up of recycled should not be used for storage. Yeah, that's correct. That's it's correct statement. Okay. Then the process of transforming the segregated plastic waste into a new product or raw material for producing new product is called transforming plastic into new product or as a raw material for new product. That's called recycling. Yes. We are going to discuss about these things in plastic waste management things. So it's recycling. That's correct. This is the definition for recycling, process of transforming segregated plastic waste into new product. Okay, here a question 9. Who is the prescribed authority for enforcement of provisions for registration, manufacturing of plastic product, processing and disposal of plastic waste in state and union territories? The authority. In state it was Pollution Control Board. In union territories it was Pollution Control Committee. So the answer is A. Yeah. So this is the answer. Enforcement of provision for registration, manufacturing of plastic product and up to disposal. It was the duty of Pollution Control Board and Pollution Control Committee. Okay, this is again a true or false question. The initiative in which 250 organizations responsible for 20% of the plastic packaging produced worldwide have committed to reducing waste and pollution in terms of is termed the New Plastic Economy Global Commitment. NPEGC. New Plastic Economy Global Commitment. This is what we have discussed in the last slides. 250 organizations responsible for 20% of the total plastic in the worldwide. So it's true. Yeah, it's true. That's called the New Plastic Economy Global Commitment. Then question 11. Out of 17 sustainable goals, goal 14 in the United Nations 2030 agenda for sustainable development. What are the targets they are asking? By 2030, substantially reduce the number of death and illness from hazardous chemicals. Improve education, awareness raising and human institutional capacity on climate change mitigation. To prevent and significantly reduce marine pollution of all kinds, particularly from land-based activity, including marine debris and nutrient pollutant. By 2030, ensure universal access to affordable, reliable, and modern energy service. So I had shown you all the 17 sustainable goals. Out of which 14th goal states about life below water. So one of the target is option C, that to prevent and significantly reduce marine pollution of all kinds, particularly from the land-based activities. Yes. This is the target of SDG 14. Okay. So question 12 is, if you want to establish a plastic waste recycling or processing unit, from where do you have to obtain registration? So if you want to establish a plastic waste recycling or processing unit, from where do you have to obtain registration? If you are from a state, you have to get from State Pollution Control Board. If you are from a union territory, you have to get from Pollution Control Committee. So answer both A and B. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. Okay, here is a
Excuse me. The previous question, I think the answer should be A or B.
A or B. Yeah, that's correct. Actually, they given A and B. A or B is correct. Yeah, A or B. That's correct. Exactly. Thank you. Then in question 13, recyclable plastic. These are the plastics and these options given in the plastic waste management rule. So recyclable plastic waste, non-recyclable plastic waste, thermoset plastics, inerts from recycling and plastic processing facilities. So inerts will be disposed according to solid waste management rule 2016. So D will be third. So option 3 C is correct. Then thermosets will go to processed and disposed of according to standards and pollution norms. Then B, non-recyclable plastic waste will go to energy recovery facility, road construction, and waste to oil. Then recyclable plastic waste will go to registered plastic waste recyclers. That's correct. C is correct. This is the of plastic waste management by the urban local bodies given in the Rule 5. Yeah. 14th question. Which of the following are salient features of Plastic Waste Management Rule 2016? Salient features. Responsibility for implementation of the rule is given to Gram Panchayat. Minimum thickness for the plastic carry bags was kept at 40 microns only. They introduced EPR for producers and brand owners, making them responsible for waste generation from their product. Without this rule, waste generators like event organizers, institutional generators were not under any specific responsibilities. So the first one is correct. Responsibility was given to Gram Panchayat. And in 2016 rule, EPR was introduced. And not 40, it was 50. And without this rules, waste generators cannot organize actually. So option B and A and C are correct. They are also this organizers, event organizers also covered under. They have some responsibility. Will be covered under plastic waste management rules. So 15th question. Which of the following statement is true or state whether the following statement is true or false. Every application for renewal of registration for a plastic recycling unit shall be made at least 120 days before the validity of the registration certificate expires. True or false? Yeah, that's true. So we have to apply at least 120 days before the expiry of the validity of the registration certificate. Not B, the recyclers or the producer or the manufacturer should apply for the register to the state pollution or state pollution committee. Yeah. So these are the questions from 2000 session. So some may be repeated. Okay. As per the plastic waste management rule 2016, minimum thickness was increased from 40 to, yeah, the answer is 50. Some may be repeated. Kindly bear with the quality of the PPT. Sorry for that. I can't get the actual PPT from the sir. I have just cropped. Kindly bear with the quality. So the acronym for EPR is environmental producer responsibility, extended producer responsibility, economic producer responsibility, expanded producer responsibility. No, it's extended, not expanded. It's extended producer responsibility. B is correct. Yeah. Okay. So the third question: ensuring channelization of recyclable plastic waste fraction to recyclers is the responsibility of. So who will channelize the recyclable plastic fraction to the recyclers? Local bodies, Gram Panchayat, producers, waste generators. So the answer is no. Producers can't. Producer means waste producer, plastic producer. Plastic producer can't channelize. Like one second. Yes, the local bodies and the Gram Panchayat. So the producer will give the plastic, and the waste generator will use and they will produce the plastic waste. But the channelization will be done by local bodies and the Gram Panchayat. So 1 and 2 are correct. So the generator don't have a role in channelization. They have the role to dispose the waste in the appropriate bins, and the waste should be in a segregated manner. That's the responsibility of the producer, and they have to ensure the minimum production of plastic waste. That's the thing. But the channelization and all by the authorities. Yeah. So this is the responsibility of the local body to ensure the channelization of recycling waste. Yeah. So question number 4. Manufacturing and use of non-recyclable multi-layered plastic need to be phased out by the producers in how many years? That was mentioned in the Plastic Waste Management Rule 2016. 3 years, 5 years, 1 year, and 2 years. Manufacturing and use of multi-layered and non-recyclable plastic should be phased out in 2 years actually. The answer is 2 years. Yeah, that's mentioned in the responsibility of the producer. So, first point denotes that the use of non-recyclable multi-layered plastic need to be phased out in 2 years. Okay, the question 5. Which is the prescribed authority for the enforcement of provision related to waste management in union territories? Pollution Control Board, Pollution Control Committee, Secretary in charge of Urban Development, Gram Panchayat. Not Gram Panchayat actually. Authority for enforcement of provision related to waste management by plastic waste generators. So we have two options. One is Pollution Control Board, that is for the state, for the union territories, Pollution Control Committee. But the enforcement of provision relating will be by the secretary in charge of the urban development. That's not Pollution Control Committee also. We will see here. Actually, that slide I will show. Yeah, here you can see the enforcement and the provision for registration manufacturing will be given by the Pollution Control Board and Pollution Control Committee. But enforcement of provisions related to waste management by the waste generator will be managed by the secretary in charge of urban development. And the Gram Panchayat will give provision related to waste management by the waste generator. They are not enforcers. Okay? So the answer is secretary in charge. Question 6. What are the target of SDG goals in United States? That's the SDG goal 14 of United Nations. 2030 agenda for sustainable development is to prevent and significantly reduce marine pollution, to ensure availability and sustainable management of water, to build resilient infrastructure, to end hunger. Yeah, the answer is to prevent significantly reduce marine pollution. So goal talks about life below earth, life below water. Yeah. So when did India first notify the plastic waste and handling rule? The first rule, 2010, 2011, 2015 and 2016. Yeah. Yeah, the first rule came in 2011, sorry, 11, and it was amended in 2000. Sorry, then it was amended in 2016. Right, that first one, 2011. E-waste and plastic waste management rule. First one came in 2011, and everything was amended in 2016. And the first amendment of 2016 rule was from 2018, and the second amendment from last 2022. That's the latest amendment in solid waste management rule 2016. Sorry, plastic waste management rule 2016. Okay, question 8. In 2018, 250 global conglomerates responsible for 20% of world's plastic packaging have committed to reduce waste and pollution. The initiative is called Plastic Pollution Pact, Break Free from Plastic Pollution, New Plastic Economic Global Commitment, Zero Waste Management. Yeah, that's New Plastic Economic Global Commitment. So if you want to establish a plastic carry bag manufacturing factory in Pondicherry, from where do you have to obtain registration? So Pondicherry is a union territory. So it will be from, no, Pondicherry is a union territory. So the answer is Pollution Control Committee. For registration, we have to approach the State Pollution Control Board, or sorry, the Union Territory Pollution Control Committee. Yes. So I am running a plastic recycling plant, and I have to renew the validity of my registration certificate before it expires. Before how many days should I apply for renewal? every. So if it is in Tamil Nadu, we have to go to State Pollution Control Board. Yeah, 120 days. That's correct. Yes. So every application, third point is every application of renewal of registration shall be made at least 120 days before the expiry of the validity of the registration certificate. Okay, the plastic waste management rule 2016 are applicable to every waste generator, local body, gram panchayat, manufacturer, importers, and producer. Yeah, it's true. It's applicable to all the stakeholders. Question number 12. Compostable plastic undergo degradation by biological process during composting to yield carbon dioxide, water, and inorganic compound. Yeah. This is the definition of compostable plastic given in the plastic waste management rule 2016. As per rule 3. So I am a resident of Kolkata. I have to obtain registration from West Bengal State Pollution Control Board to commercially recycle plastic bags. Is it true or false? Yeah, Kolkata is from the West Bengal state. We have to obtain from the State Pollution Control Board. That's true. According to Plastic Waste Management Rule 2016, carry bag made of recycled plastic can be used for packaging ready to eat or drink food. So as per the rule, no, cannot be used actually. Recycled plastic cannot be used. Plastic with pigment cannot be used for eatables. Plastic made from recycled plastic cannot be used. That's the rule says. So it's false. Here you can see the first rule talks. I mean the rule 4. First point talk about uh, carry bag and plastic packaging shall either be in its natural shade without any added pigment. Second point is carry bag made up of recycled plastic or products shall not be used for dispensing or packaging ready to eat or drink foodstuffs. These are the 2 points. Okay. So the last one is sachet using plastic material shall be used for sorting, packing, or selling gutka, tobacco, and pan masala. True or false? Yeah, it's false. So the rule says sachet using plastic material shall not be used for sorting, packing of this type of items. So that's all about today's question solving, and some stuffs I am having for you. Like so, this is the Ellen MacArthur Foundation. Yeah, she is MacArthur. She is so, she is a successful solo long distance yacht woman, and after her sailing retirement from the professional sailing, she started Ellen MacArthur Foundation. That's majorly focusing on circular economy, and she have a on 17th May 2017, the Ellen Mac Foundation, along with the Prince of Wales, that is Prince Charles, and International Sustainability Unit from UK, launched US $2 billion prize fund for innovations which work towards the management of waste plastic. This is one of the initiatives given by Ellen MacArthur Foundation. And if you want to download any type of rules from our Indian government, you have to go to Central Pollution Control Board website, cpcb.nic.in. Here you can see all the types of uh, pollution related issues. If you want to deal with the water, you can get these water rules here: water quality, air quality. Now we have to look into solid waste or waste. So you click waste management. Here all the type of waste will come: hazardous e-waste, municipal solid waste, biomedical, plastic, battery, CND. All waste rules came in 2016 and different amendments came. Now we need plastic waste. So if you click plastic waste, you can see all this type of things: rules, technical guidelines, annual reports, and other publications related to NGT reports. NGT is National Green Tribunal. That's the special court for environmental related cases. So the cases related to plastic waste and the report given by NGT was given here. If you want rules, you just click rules. So you will be directed to this page. Here you can see Plastic Waste Management Rule 2016 amended in 2018. That's the first amendment. The second amendment was drafted in 2011, and it was the new one. Second amendment of Plastic Waste Management Rule 2022. So we have different rules. you see, rules will be like this. The first rule will be this. Okay. You can see here, this is the Gazette of India. In 2016, the first plastic waste management rule came. You can see the English version at the half of this one. So the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change notification in 2016. We have a plastic waste management and handling rules. 2011 was amended as 2016. Okay, the short title was given and the application and the definition. These are the definition we had seen in our first slides. After that, all the rules. So this is the rule 6, responsibility for the local body. Rule 7, responsibility for Gram Panchayat. Rule 8, responsibility of wage generator. If you want to discuss, look into any of these rules, you can refer this. If you want to refer any responsibility, you can go through these rules. Rules will be vague. That's why I have just made some presentation. So you can easily go through this type of rules. And in the annexure, you can see the forms. Form 1 will be the application for registration of producers and brand owners. That's what we are talking about. We have to submit the registration form to the State Pollution Control Board or Pollution Control Committees, if it is a state or a union territory, respectively. And the second form deals with the application for registration of units engaged in processing and recycling. That's the producer, manufacturer. This is for recyclers. And form 3 for registration for manufacture of plastic raw materials. And form 4, format of annual report by the operator of plastic waste processing or recycling unit. Form 5, annual report for plastic waste management submitted by the local body. I told you all the stakeholders have to submit the annual report. Like producer have to submit, local body have to submit, and then this is by the state-wise pollution control board or the pollution control committee have to submit. Then the central pollution have to submit to the Ministry of India, Ministry of what is that? Environment, Forest Environment, Climate Change. This is the thing. So this is the whole rule, and it was amended in 2022 latest amendment. It will be 14 pages, but just they will give this class was defined to this class. After class AB, the following class was inserted, and this was inserted like that. Some things were added and some things were removed. So the main thing given in this 2022 amendment is we have 4 categories of plastic waste included in this amendment 2022. One is rigid plastic that I will show you here. Yeah. Here if you see, these are the 4 classification of plastic. Category 1, Category 2, Category 3, Category 4. One is rigid plastic packaging, flexible plastic packaging, multi-layered plastic packaging, plastic sheets. So flexible plastic packaging will be of single layer or multi-layer fully with the plastic. Here multi-layer, at least one will be plastic, other layer will be of any other material other than plastic. Then fourth will be plastic sheets or like used for packaging. These are the 4 categories given in the new amendment 2022. And there is the enforcement of minimum level of recycling and the extended producer responsibility certificates were introduced in 2022, and a centralized online portal was introduced by the Central Pollution Control Board. Yeah, these are the new things. Environmental compensation: if the producer failed to establish his responsibility, then he have to pay the environment compensation. That is the polluter pay principle (PPP). It imposes liability on a person who pollutes the environment to compensate for the damage. And the annual report on the EPR portal should be submitted. That's all the new establishment in the amendment 2022. Yeah. This is what we have discussed. And then some more things. These are the things. So if you want to download solid waste management rule, you can go through municipal solid waste. Rules will be here. So 2016 is the latest rule here. And if you want to see the air quality management, you can go to the air quality and the national air quality norms. Everything you can download from this website. So this is the annual report that is submitted in the EPR portal. That and all we can download from here. All the state-wise annual reports, everything we can download. So this is the main website, CPCB, Central Pollution Control Board.in. So these are the different timeline for plastic waste management rule. 1998, recycled plastic usage rule came. Plastic manufacturer usage rule 1999. 2011 was the first plastic waste management and handling rule. 16 it was then refurbished, and 18 it was amended, first amendment, and second amendment was in 2022. 21 is was drafted, 22 is the second amendment. Yes. So this is the 44th G7 summit happened at Canada. So here they have discussed about climate along with this common traits was one of the main theme, working together on climate change, ocean and clean energy. So here they have stated about the plastic pollution and the microplastic impact on marine pollution and all. Yeah. So this is about WRAP, WRAP that I have mentioned, Waste Resource and Waste and Resource Action Program. So here you can see what is the WRAP. This is a simple video about WRAP and a 1 minute video. I hope the audio is clear. This is a UK-based recycling, the sustainable program about circular economy. This is about WRAP. And this is what the bylaw I was discussing about. So the plastic waste management rule was for the whole country, India, but the state or a district or a local body can develop their own bylaw. That was mentioned in our constitution. We can frame our own bylaw for any rule and we can implement in a local body. So this is the Erode district in government of Tamil Nadu state, and they have framed a bylaw for the solid waste management. So this is a solid waste management bylaw for Bhavani municipality in Erode district. So for the fee collection or user fee collection and whatever the same, they can adapt from the same solid waste management rule, and some of the bylaw they will delete or they will include some of the rules according to their site specific conditions. So this is one of the bylaw for your reference. So here the user fee, we can't mention a same user fee for the whole country. So this is the bylaw for the specific district, mentioning the user fee amount in rupees for each category, like residence, institution, commercial, how much they have to pay for every month or every 6 months once, like that. The user fee and all will be mentioned in the bylaws. So, and about the exam registration, if you want to write the exam, please register before 16th February. So, it will be ending in 2 days. And the first and second assignment answers were released. So, kindly check. And tomorrow is the deadline for the week 3 assignment. So, kindly go through all the lectures and do the assignment. So, that's all about today's session. Thank you so much. If you have any doubt, you can ask.
I want to ask something. In the final exam, from final exam point of view,
Yeah,
this
ma'am.
lecture material is enough, or we have to go through whatever reading materials are provided and whatever rules and amendments you have told now.
It will be basically
That's
like
what.
MCQs, ma'am, but please go through the rules. Sir may ask simple questions only, so no problem. So regarding plastic waste management course, whatever the assignments, if you finish, it will be covering maximum 50 to 60% of the final exam questions, so no problem.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So you have to go through the rules also, ma'am. Just read the rules or the PPT. You go through once.
Okay.
Yeah, if you don't have any question, you can leave the meet. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining. Thank you so much.